the International Motor Show is underway in Geneva, where automakers have assembled to showcase new launches. Tata Motors has launched 4 cars, namely Altroz Premier hatchback, Altroz EV, H2X micro SUV and Buzzard. Speaking exclusively to ET Now on the sidelines of the Geneva Motor Show, Tata Motors CEO said that there cannot be one date for transition from BS4 and it may start before April 2020, subject to fuel availability. Guenter also said that he expects March to see better sales and expects to end the FY19 on a positive note. Let's listen in.
A year ago, we actually brought 2 show cars representing the Alpha and Omega architecture, the future of the passenger vehicle business of Tata Motors, to Geneva. The one show car was H5X and the other one was called 45X. And at this point of time, the same question was asked, is it just a concept car or is it going to be road ready? And we said it's going to be on the roads within the coming 12 to 18 months. That was the very straightforward commitment and promise made. Yesterday we unveiled 4 vehicles and we brought the Harrier back to India, back to Geneva, because the Harrier was already delivered to the Indian customers at the end of January. So promise kept, and the other ones are going to be with the customers soon.
Well, Guenter, back home, how do you read the current market condition? Now, the market has been in a bad shape since the last 6 months. What's exactly wrong, and by when do you think the situation will get better?
It's a good question. If we rewind, the same question was asked after the second quarter. We were still outpacing the competition, the market. And I said we are cautiously optimistic because we all expected that we are well set for a very strong festive season, expecting a recovery in retail. There was no festive season. There was a subdued third quarter. Same question was asked after the third quarter, and I said let's stay cautiously optimistic, because normally the fourth quarter is going to be strong, if not necessarily as of Jan, but it should pick up as of the month of February. We have just published the figures for Tata Motors for the entire industry, and you have seen that the second month of the fourth quarter, namely February, has not brought this expected recovery. So we still hope, since there's very little reason why the demand should be as subdued as we have seen it in the last 8 months in the meanwhile, that the month of March can bring some recovery to conclude the quarter and finally the fiscal year on a somewhat higher note, which is going to give us a much more optimistic attitude in the transition into the next fiscal year.
Speaking of the BS6 implementation, Guenter, it's not only about technology, but now timing the market right. When do we really get the BS6 vehicle into the market? When should we extract the BS4 vehicles out of the market? What is the timing which Tata Motors has? By when can we see the BS6 vehicles really getting into the market?
That's pretty much what I just said. It's not going to be one date which is going to suit the transition for all of the products. This is going to be an educated decision product by product, because some products are largely petrol based. A transition to petrol is an easier step for BS6 than it is the case for diesel. Then it's a question which of the powertrain applications have a need for BS6 compliant fuel. There's not one date. There will be a sequence of dates, a sequence of events on which basis we are going to manage the transition to BS6, most probably beginning as of the second half of the next fiscal year.